Hey guys, how's it going? It's let's see, Wednesday, I guess September 5th, and I can already feel the weather starting to turn, which is super exciting. I love it when the weather gets cooler. It seems like you're able to work out harder, and I'm going to be filming some of that, some of the things that I do for rehab, therapy, strengthening, conditioning, stuff that helps you directly with jiu-jitsu. So I've got big plans for that, and that'll be a lot of fun. But first I wanted to go over again some of the more internal aspects of jiu-jitsu, things that really get forgotten and overlooked. And man, I've been giving this a lot of thought. I've been up since 3 in the morning, so I'm already wiped out. But I thought to myself, you know, what was the most important thing that I wanted to convey and share. And I guess anyway, the primary purpose of jiu-jitsu, the most important part of it, the biggest deal, you know, really when you're defending anything with martial arts, it's just wartime arts. You're supposed to be protecting and preserving something. I mean, you know, fighting for the sake of fighting, I think, usually comes when people are, you know, bored or under challenged or whatever like that. These are very relatively peaceful times here in the United States. So, you know, I mean, if you just got home from fighting every single day, the last thing you do is get up in the morning and fight some more. So, fighting for fighting's sake is in some people's blood, though, man, and you're going to do it one way or another. I'm the same way. I've got to be pushing myself some way or challenging myself. But with jiu-jitsu, it's hard to know what you're fighting for because there's something nagging at you, and I guess I wanted to talk about that because really in life there's only one opponent, that's fear. And jiu-jitsu's about getting rid of that fear. Fear is the monster, man. It changes everybody. It's what makes people bullies. Back in the beginning, you know, when I was first starting to try to teach jiu-jitsu to a whole lot of people at once, you know, there were guys running around challenging people, beating them up, beating up the instructors, you know, total bullies and monsters. And as much as I disliked them, you know, running around, shaking their fists, oh my goodness, it was a nightmare. And even if you put them down, man, they still had that horrible attitude. It was because they were just overwhelmed with fear. They're terrified they're going to be nothing or nobody, not going to be loved. And our culture, certainly that we live in here, is just absolutely rife with fear. It's a fear-based culture. It's everything is, if you don't do this, you're going to have a heart attack. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. That's a biggie. If you don't do this, you know, chicks won't like you, guys won't like you. You're not going to make enough money. You won't be accepted. Good God, Jesus, man, I can't even handle that crap. It's a nonsense, crazy way to live. But you get indoctrinated into it so early that you don't even know what's happening to you. So most people are just consumed with this fear, and it creates a rage and a violence. And you know, I have sympathy for them, and I know what that feels like. But jiu-jitsu is supposed to be something that abolishes that. All the training that we do, all of the crazy locks and holds and struggling, man, those are just metaphors for what's really going down in your heart or in your life, because you're really getting your ass kicked by fear. And so it's important to know your enemy, because otherwise you'll project it onto other people, other situations, yourself. Man, you know, just a lot of rage and unpleasantness. And so if you know your enemy, that's fear. And that's what jiu-jitsu is supposed to alleviate, abolish, or at least lessen to some degree. And let's see, how could I define fear? Because it's responsible for so many things. It changes, like I said, who you are, how you express yourself, what you think, what you believe. If you're in a fear-based situation, man, you're more likely to betray yourself and other people. So that is my definition for fear. So fear is anything that causes you to be someone other than who you want to be. Not who you think you ought to be, or who someone else or the TV says you ought to be. It's who you want to be, who you really would be thrilled being. Everybody's got that special heartfelt mission, you know. I want to be this person. I want to express this stuff, or I want to, you know, I just want to shine in my own way, you know, or I want to retreat in my own way. I just want to, whatever your individual music is, man, whatever your song's about, being able to sing that and let it out is really in my mind anyway, the goal of human existence. Because I got that belief we're all put here for a reason. I don't have any particular doctrine that says why, just something I feel strongly and deeply in my heart. Nothing makes me feel better than empowering somebody and watching them blossom into something that they were meant to be. Jiu-jitsu, when people come to me, man, they are afraid. They'll tell you, I want to kick somebody's ass, I want to do this, I want to do that. What they're really saying is, I'm terrified, man. I'm afraid, and I want the fear to go away. So that's the first order of business, man. If you don't get that done, everything else you do in jiu-jitsu will be folly. It'll screw up. Your moves will be wrong. You'll overexert yourself. You'll hurt people, or people will hurt you. As much as I fought bullies trying to give people information and power, I ended up accidentally, inadvertently creating a lot of them. A lot of the people that we hated, I ended up having students that acted the same way. They were doing the same crap, walking around, challenging people, being tough, being the very sorts of people that scared the shit out of them when they came to me. They didn't like that. They were horrified by those people, but suddenly they became those people. You see it all the time, somebody hates somebody because that's who they really want to be like. That's still cowardly. It's still not facing your fears. I'm not saying it's not understandable. I'm not saying that I haven't done it plenty myself. But it's really, man, it's the real enemy between you and freedom. So jiu-jitsu, the gentle art, is a loving, powerful, intelligent, visceral body process that is supposed to free your soul, man, your spirit. So that's what I would like to share, man. That's what I think people should focus on. That's my opinion, and that's what I focus on when I teach my guys. Anybody that's willing to learn, anybody that's really willing to let go of their ego and stand up to those things in the world, and there are so many of them that try to kick you down. A lot of people want to bust over your sandcastle. Very few people want to build them. Those are precious people to be around. I'm blessed to be around them, and I'd like to be around more. So the number one thing, like I said, is knowing that your enemy is fear. If something's making you behave, do, feel, or whatever, people say, well, you have to do that. That's your decision. You don't have to do anything. Being able to stand up to what really bothers you, to what you know isn't right, especially for you, not in an angry, pissed off, march down the streets of Washington kind of way, but in a loving, thrilled. So you get up and you're excited. You're free to be yourself. And when you're doing that, and all systems are go, and all the pistons are firing in the same direction, a magical thing happens, and you become the person you were meant to be, and you glow with life and power, and it's contagious, man. And jiu-jitsu is the thing that gets you there, and that's a really odd goal, I think, to set for people that want to be whatever. I mean, some people need to fight professionally to abolish those demons. Some people just need to train casually to exercise them. Some people aren't able to look at that, and if they're not, forever they're consumed with the very thing they don't want to be, and that knocks your ass in the dirt. So from the bottom of my heart, my message today, and the thing that I would like to share is that, and I hope that made some sense. If it didn't, man, please ask me any questions you'd like to, and I'd love to clarify. But really, that's the purpose of jiu-jitsu, is to free you, man. That's what you're fighting for. You're liberating your soul, and you're becoming the magic being that you feel like you're meant to be. So I hope that helps, and I hope that maybe changes some of your philosophies, and that you start actually doing those very things, and letting yourself sort of spread your wings. Anyway, it's been a real pleasure to spend some time with you. Thank you again for listening and watching this. It means the world. Every one of you guys that's trying to connect with me, guys and girls, I should say, it really does mean a lot. So I will try to stay in touch the best I can. Sometimes my energy just crushes me and I'm not able to, but I'll always try. So look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, take care of yourself, and let yourself be free. Adios.